Hi, Matt with etrailer, and today we're going to be talking about our RockyMounts GuideRail bike rack on the back of our 2022 Nissan Rogue. Now this is available in a 2-bike one like we have today, or you can go up for the 3-bike version. So let's take a closer look at it. This is going to be a great rack if you're looking for something that's going to be able to haul a variety of different types of bikes, whether those are e-bikes or carbon or alternative frame bikes. So let's take a closer look at why that is. So we're going to have a 60-pound weight capacity per bike holding up the two of them. So that's going to be able to accommodate your heavy e-bikes. And it's not going to prevent you from having a tilt-away feature. And the one we have today is pretty extreme. That's going to allow you plenty of room to open up your hatch. So if you plan on doing any grocery shopping or you need access to your gear that's back here, you're going to be able to do that too. But after when you close this back up, you come around to the front and lift this back into the seated position until it clicks into place. Now, if we want to take a closer look at it, we have to take off our bike. So what I like to do is start on the back tire by pressing this blue button, lifting it up then, and moving this arm out of the way. That is one of the nicer things about this rack is all the things you need to touch are going to be coated in blue, so it's really intuitive. And I also really like how this is a dual wheel mount system. It's just a lot easier to use, and on top of that, it's great for alternative and carbon frame bikes. Just make sure I get this out of my way, and then I can take it for a ride. Now, if you look at the trays, those are going to be great if you have your standard 3-inch tires, because that's what the max on this is going to be. Just make sure you put everything back up too. Or you can just put it back up without pushing this button down quite yet, and push it down at the very end. So now let's get some measurements. Now if I go from our back bumper to the back of the carrier, that's going to be about 27 inches, which isn't too bad. It's something more to think about if you're in a tight spot, like a parking spot or a garage. As for the ground clearance, that's going to be about 20 inches from this handle, which is thanks to this rise we have in the carrier and the shank. Now if you want to save some space, you can by pulling that lever and pushing up. And this is going to sit pretty close to what we have today. If I measure from our back bumper to the back of the carrier where these arms are, that's going to be about 1 inch. But this is pretty sturdy how it sits on here, so I wouldn't worry about that making contact with your vehicle. And going from the back bumper to the back of the carrier, that's going to be a little bit over 9 inches, so that's going to save you a lot of space overall. As for how it's going to interact on the back of our car today, we're going to block a little bit of that backup camera. Now you might just pick up a little bit of it, but you're still going to be able to use your backup camera. But your license plates, taillights, and back window won't be obstructed. As for how it's going to install, we're going to have this 2-inch shank that goes into your 2-inch hitch receiver. We're going to have this 3/4 anti-rattle bolt that goes through and connects to this locking core. That locking core is going to add extra security and use the same key system as this lock core at the top. And this lock core at the top is used for your chain lock, and that's going to help secure your bikes down to the rack. Now overall, this is going to be a pretty solid system for you if you are planning on carrying a variety of different types of bikes. Now if you want something a little bit more premium, that's a little bit easier to use and has more integrated features to it, then I'd recommend the Kuat Piston Pro bike rack. Very similar to this one, only just easier to use overall. But if you want something that's a little bit more affordable, and honestly it's still pretty easy to use too, and I think this is going to be a great option for you too. If you liked everything you saw today, let's just look at the RockyMounts GuideRail bike rack on the back of our 2022 Nissan Rogue.
We're going to take it out here on the test course. First thing we're going to do is hit the bumps. We're just going to see what it's like if we did hit some speed bumps. I'm watching the bike, watching how it holds on the tires. It looks like it moves just a little bit, not too much. This is mostly standard with other bike racks, so nothing to worry about. The bike doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Now we're going to go a little bit faster in the parking lot. I'm going to take some aggressive turns and see how it handles there. Looks like it's fine. I see a little movement again, but again, the bike's not going anywhere, so I don't have to worry about it.